Is Chris Daukaus as fast as Cyril Gane? No. Is Chris Daukaus as elite of a fighter as Cyril Gane? No. Is Chris Daukaus a very entertaining man who uses a lot of flurries to open up and smash his opponents? Yes. Is he as fast as a middleweight? Yes. I think so, man. I think he got that middleweight, light heavyweight speed. Does he have that heavyweight crack and power? Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So there's a lot of good things going, in my opinion. Now, you might push back. There's a lot of good things, in my opinion, going for Chris Daukaus in this fight against Lewis. But to look at the Gane fight and say, oh, Chris Daukaus is just going to emulate what Cyril Gane did, I think that's completely nullifying what Derrick Lewis has done in his career and negating the fact that Cyril Gane, let's not forget, he was running for his life in that cage when Derrick Lewis was closing in on him in those early rounds. So one thing that I've noticed about Chris Daukaus, AJ, and please give me your feedback on this one, he takes shots and he needs to open up to really get the job done. So you'll see oftentimes, man, it's not one shot, two shots that does it. It's 4, 5, 6, 7 shots. If you look at his significant strikes landed per minute, it's 9.03 at a 53% clip. High volume striker. And when he got Shamil Abdurakhimov, he was kind of getting, how would you say? He was fighting Abdurakhimov's fight in that fight until he got the KO. So we really saw once that kind of higher level of competition came, the success of Chris Daukaus stalled just a little bit. It was a much slower paced fight. Do you have any pushback on what I just said? Do you think there's anything that needs to be analyzed in my assessment of Chris Daukaus into this matchup?
No, I agree with you. I do think he has the style in which to get things done. Maybe he's not that elite, just like
Cyril Gane.
Cyril Gane, thank you, Cyril Gane. But he's very much right there. He's that same kind of style of fighter that has the advantage of Derrick Lewis. The problem against that is Derrick Lewis is an absolute warhorse. Like, this dude can just take anything you can throw at him. And the problem with the style that Daukaus has in those punches, in those 7, 8, 9 punches combinations, that's where you leave yourself open. And that's exactly what we saw against Derrick Lewis and not Alexei Olenek, with the tall dude.
What, Volkov?
Volkov, yes, yeah. Derrick Lewis Volkov, where he kind of opens himself up and then just gets cracked over the ear one time, and it's all over. And that's the scary part about Derrick Lewis, man, is that he's never out of it. Literally till that last bell or till you put him to sleep, this dude can always come back and hit you harder than you hit him, and then he can eat them all. Dude, he literally, body shots, chin shots, doesn't really matter. Derrick Lewis can handle it all and handle his business. It's just, I do agree with you that the style of Chris Daukaus leads you to think like, oh, this guy can get it done. I can see why he's the favorite going forward, even if it's not necessarily as justified or as blatant, black and white on paper as you would think.
Well, let's not forget that Francis Ngannou was afraid to let his hands go. And I'm using that word very carefully and gently. He was afraid to let his hands go against Derrick Lewis because that's how much of a threat in the hands Derrick Lewis has. His power is ridiculous. Arguably, it's Ngannou, Lewis. And some people would have that switch. Some people would say it's Lewis and Ngannou, which is a crazy thing to even fathom. But nonetheless, that's how astronomical this man's power is, right? So with that being said, if Francis Ngannou was a little afraid to let his hands go against Derrick Lewis, I would imagine that Chris Daukaus is going to need to be very careful, because all it takes is one. Like you said, it just takes the pinky. You just land it, just clip him a little bit. Let's not forget, when Derrick Lewis uppercutted Curtis Blades into oblivion, he hit him with his wrist. It wasn't even his hand, man. He hit him with the wrist. Just, sleep, done, So I just think that in this spot, 79-inch reach, 3-inch reach advantage for Derrick Lewis over Daukaus. This is kind of like Ngannou versus Miocic in a way, right? In a tiny way, in the way where if Daukaus could stay on the outside and just tap up Derrick Lewis for 5 rounds, he's going to win the fight. But what did it take from Ngannou? One left hook. That was it. And then Miocic was done. So I just think that for Chris Daukaus, you have to play it safe for 5 whole rounds. For Derrick Lewis, you just need to land one. I like the odds there. However, we said the same thing against Cyril Gane, and Cyril Gane got the job done.